So what I've done is I've jumped straight into part 3, missed out the first beginnings, and I've made a start on the wheels. So I did the return roller and the sprocket, and the idler wheel on the sprocket, and I've done the return rollers so far. Get the wheels out of the way, get them all painted up and ready to go on, and then it's pretty much plain sailing from there, I reckon. So we've done that, we've made that up, both of those, and made both of those up, all 6 of the return rollers. So I've just got to make 12 wheels now. Easy peasy, I hear you say. So I'll get me bits and pieces. So here we are, we've got front and back on 2 different sprues, number 16, number 11, 1 2 3 4 5 6 fronts, 1 2 backs, 1 2 3 4 5 6 fronts. So I've got my cleverly numbered trays there, so I know which is which. So I'll get all the 16s off first, and then right, so we've got both sides of the vehicle there. There's all the 11s and there's all the 16s. So all we've got to do is glue them together. Take a 16, we take an 11. It's actually got a little pin and a little slot which fit in together. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, like that, and that'll get glued together. The 2 sprue gate marks right opposite each other, so I can file them together and it will be smashing. So let's get the glue. Trusty Tamiya cement for this, which is running a bit low, so I'm going to need to replenish that. That's why it's up on its end. So we'll have a dab in the middle, dab on those pins, join them up in a happy union, like that. Bob's your mum's brother. By Jove, we appear to have one wheel. And there it is. So, do that again. You can see the slot, which makes it so much easier for lining up, and it gives it a nice tight fit as well. So that goes in there, that goes on there. Line up wherever you are. Oh, a little bit of twizzling, and that's it. Wheel number 2, come on down. That's that done. See if you can make out the Continental. Very nice touch. Right, so I'll crack on with them, get them done, and then we'll come back in a minute. Right, so that's it. We're all done with the wheels. Idlers, sprockets, return rollers, and both sides of the wheels done. Now all I've got to do is just give them a clean up and Then we can move on up. So that's all the running gear cleaned up, ready to go. Next stage will be mounting them on cocktail sticks, ready for a touch of primer. So let's crack on with that and see what's happening. Okay, so that's everything mounted up and ready for prime. I just mounted them on a stick that doctors use to hold your tongue down when they want to look down the back of your throat. Tongue examination sticks, or whatever they're called. And it's going to be primed with this, and it's going to be thinned a little bit with stinky stuff. Mr. Hobby leveling thinners. So that's everything ready to go. I shall turn on my trusty compressor and let's get ready to rumble. So we're ready to rock. Got the paint, and I've got this cheapo Chinese, which I just used for priming. I like that little micro control there. Gives you good control over the airflow. So let's crack on with it, boys and girls. Paint is in. Coming out nicely. So here we go. I'll do these first. These won't be seen anyway because they're behind the shirts, but I'll still prime them and paint them as I would everything else. Make sure everything's primed. flat as a pancake. Ew. What is that nastiness on the end there? I hear you say. It's in the needle cap. Yeah, it might be a cheap airbrush, but it sprays well. That's what it is again. I think it was £47 it cost me, I think. Try to get as good a coverage as you can. We don't really want to see grey plastic sticking out anywhere. Wow. I've still got all that in the cup. Oh well. As you can see, it's quite a decent airbrush. Not bad at all. 47 quid. Cheap as chips. Right. So they're all primed. Let me just go over them all again. Got plenty of paint. Just Make sure we ain't missed any bits. Right, so what I'm going to do, just go over these again. So that's it, I've finished priming. I'm going to clean my brush, get that gunk out of the needle cap, and then we'll be back with the rubber black malarkey. So the running gear's all primed, ready to go, and now my plan is to do rubber black, which is going to be AK 3rd gen acrylic, and it's just going to be thinned with, not StuH, but that's water. It's just going to be thinned with water. Don't try and thin it with Mr. Hobby thinner or IPA, because it just turns into a thick gloopy mess. Take it from me, I've tried, but I did the sensible thing and tried it in a plastic shot glass and not in my airbrush. So lesson learned. So I'm going to use the trusty Fengda BD180 again. I'll put some rubber black in there. I'm not going to use too much this time. Squirt of water. Stirring stick. Make sure it's nicely mixed. And you should be ready. Clean that stirring stick off. So let's get that in the airbrush and get spraying. Pour some in. Get that out of the way before I knock it over. Get that out of the way before I knock it over. Let's have a little looky. Right, that's done. So they're all painted rubber black. I'll just use up this last little bit of paint just in case I've missed any spots anywhere. Right, time to clean the paint airbrush and let that dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. So here we are, we're back again. I've been downstairs watching a documentary about Das Reich for about an hour and 10 minutes. So everything's nicely dry. The rubber black, taking them off the cocktail sticks. We're ready to crack on with the dark yellow. And this is what I used. Beautiful paint, absolutely beautiful. Straight from the jar, bottle, whatever you want to call it. No need to thin it. It stinks to high heaven, but it's a beautiful paint. It goes down beautiful, flat as anything. So that's what we're going to use. And they do separate when they've been sitting around, as they are in my little drawer to the side of me there. They separate, so you need to give them a really good shake and a stir. I've got mixing balls in there, glass mixing balls. Give it a really good shake up, and then we're ready to rock. So we're ready to rock and roll, and let's start with one of these here sprockets. Got the trusty thing there again. Dog shit. That's not too shabby. Make sure we've got everything on the back side of it as well. Make sure I get everything behind. Lovely jubbly boy. Beautiful paint. So I tilted the airbrush too far forward and it had a bit of overspill over the edge of the cup and it's splattered everywhere. It's very thin, this paint, so you do have to be a little bit careful with it, which I wasn't, as you can see on my glove. Try again. Oh, I've done it again. Schoolboy errors. Right, let me empty some paint out. Right, that one's done. I've emptied paint out of the cup. I've just had too much paint in it. Overcompensated again, as usual. So that's the second idler. Right, now we're going to do the road wheels. And we're going to use this plastic circle template. As you can see, it's been well used before. I've marked out the ones that I'm going to do, which I've already used them before. I think I used them on the last StuH I built. There you can see that one and that one we're going to be using. So the procedure is mop up that big splodge of paint, get a wheel there, put the circle template over it and spray it. That's the theory behind it anyway. Like that. And then spray, spray, spray. And hopefully we should have a decent looking road wheel. Let's see what that one looks like. And there you have it. One painted StuH wheel. As easy as that. In the template, and they've got a little ridge on the back there, which you could probably see, and the edge rim where the rubber meets the wheel has got a little raised bit, so when you stick it in, that goes in the ridge on the back, and you're laughing just like that. As you can see, it's not the easiest thing to film, so I've done 2 now. I'm going to do the rest off camera, and then we'll have a look at them when they're done. There's number 2. Alright, so that's it. That's the running gear done. Probably the most time consuming part of a kit, especially if it's German armour with all these wheels, and obviously if you built a Tiger you know that that's even worse. So that's them done. I'm glad they're out of the way. Now I can focus on just doing the build. This has got link and length tracks on it, which I'm pleased about. Should be no problem. Let's have a look at one of the sprockets. There's one of the sprockets. That paint is absolutely beautiful. It is beautiful. I love it. It's straight out the jar. It's very thin, so obviously you've seen me make some schoolboy errors and splashing it all over the place. You have to be a bit careful with it, and it really stinks as well, so put something over your face. I had a face mask thingy on, not a professional one, just a COVID face covering as they call them. Right, okay, that's another little session done on the bench. I've left the compressor on because I haven't cleaned that airbrush out yet, so that's what that noise is. Anyway, all the running gear's done, which I'm happy about. The sprockets, the idlers, the turn rollers, and the road wheels all successfully put together, primed, painted, done and dusted, ready to go. So just leaves me to say thanks everybody for watching. If you've stayed this long, I know it's a bit of a long video, but thanks very much. And I'm happy that I've started getting my mojo back. I've got a bit more interest in it now. So hopefully we can continue with the build next week. It'll have to be next week because I just don't get the time during the week. So take care everyone, and I'll see you next weekend.